All right, so today we're going to do a yin practice for the low back and hips. Okay, so if you have a block or a bolster, that would be useful. In like a towel or a blanket might be helpful too. Okay, or anything about this size you can use to prop up under your knees or something. All right, so we're going to start on our backs. Okay. So come all the way down. I'm going to start with Bananasana. Okay, so come all the way down to your back. Get comfortable here. Okay, so go ahead and we're going to walk your feet over towards the right, okay? Extend your arms above your head and take your arms over to the right also. Okay. You can softly close your eyes here. And if you want to get a little bit deeper in the side, you can pick up your left foot and cross your left ankle over your right. We're going to be in this for about another minute on this side. All right, when you're ready, uncross your foot. And you can bring it back to center, point your toes, reach your fingers up, and then let's take it to the other side. Same thing, so walk your feet over towards the left, hands over towards the left. And again, if you want a little more deepening in the side body, you can pick up your right foot and cross it over your left ankle. All right, let's walk your feet back to the center. Send your arms up. You can bring your knees in. Give yourself a little hug. Take it to the side, and we're going to come to our next pose, which is butterfly pose. So it might be helpful to have the towel or bolster underneath your bum, just to help your low back, okay? So to come to butterfly pose, just come to seated, bring the bottoms of your feet together, okay? Now it can be a close-up butterfly if that feels nice to you, or it can be a wider butterfly. Just do what feels best to you. So in Yin Yoga, there's the idea of we want to play our edge. So we want to come to the point where we naturally stop. So go ahead and just round down and let your upper body round. If we're doing more Yang style yoga, we would want a straight back, but in Yin, we want the rounded back. And so we come here, and then after roughly 30 seconds or so, your body should loosen up a little bit more, and you can decide if you want to come a little bit deeper in the pose, okay? And then after that, we stay there for time and let gravity help us, okay? If you want to also, you can bring your elbows to your legs and then support your head if you're feeling any strain on your neck, or if you have a large bolster, you can also do that, or rest your forehead on a block, whatever feels nice to you, okay? About 30 more seconds here. All right, slowly bring yourself up. We're going to come to, if you want, you can take your fingertips behind you and press up a little bit if that feels nice on your low back. All right, so we're going to come to half butterfly now. So extend your left leg out and then bring the bottom of your right foot to the inner part of your left thigh. Now, we can be still up on a towel or a bolster here. And if you want, you can put a block under your knee. That feels nicer. Okay. So there's three options that you can do this pose if you want. You can come forward in between the legs. You can lean over your bent leg. Or if you want, you can do a lateral side bend, okay? That's an option too. So just do what feels best to you, okay? And again, just come to where you naturally stop. Be in here about another minute on this side. All right, if you want to slowly press yourself up. And again, we can bring our hands behind us and lift the chest a little bit here. That feels nice. And then let's switch sides. So extend your right leg out. Bring the bottom of your left foot in towards the inner part of your right thigh. And then block, go under your right knee if you like that. And we'll just take the fold here again. Again, it's a rounded fold like before, like we did in butterfly. About another minute and a half here, guys. All right. Let's start to slowly press yourself back up. Again, we can bring our hands behind us and lift up our sternum. And we can start to remove some of our props here. And we're going to come to tabletop. And we're actually going to come all the way down onto our bellies. So lower yourself down to your belly into Sphinx pose, okay? So roll out the hips a little bit, bend your knees and move just to get comfortable here. So bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. But if you find that that is too pinchy on your low back, you can bring your elbows forward a little bit and maybe even grab your opposite hand to your opposite elbow, okay? That's an option there. If you are wanting to go even deeper, your elbows, you can bring them under your shoulders and then bring your hands there and actually press up to a seal pose, okay? So it's your call, what feels comfortable. What's also nice too is if you bring your elbows a little bit forward, gives your back some more space. You can stack your fists, widen your elbows, and then just let it rest also. Or you can rest on a bolster or even a block with your forehead, okay? Your feet are hip width apart. Just be here for a few minutes. About another minute and a half here. All right. If you want to bring yourself down, bend your knees, you can windshield your feet a little bit. Lower them down. Bring your hands next to on each side of your heart, center elbows are back. Press yourself back to tabletop. We're going to bring our toes together and your knees to the edge of the mat. And we're going to come to tadpole here. So if you have your block and your blanket, what you can do is either sit back on your block if you need a little bit, if you need the floor closer to you, and rest your head on the blanket or bolster, or you can even put the bolster behind you too, or the blanket, and support that way, and then rest your head on the block. Those are options. Or you can always just stack your fists and rest your forehead that way, or just let your forehead come all the way down, okay? About another minute and a half here. All right, let's slowly come up, back to tabletop. Bring your knees back to center, and then if you want to take a down dog, might feel nice here. Just a little stretch. All right, let's come back to tabletop. And we're gonna come into what's called shoelace next. So what you do, you're in tabletop. Pick up your right leg and land your knee on the outside of your left leg, and then kind of bring your feet up a little bit more, and we're just gonna sit back. Now you can sit if you need to sit on a block or a blanket or a bolster. You can do that. The other option is to do the untied shoelace, so you're just making this wider so it feels nicer on your hips, okay? It fits you, okay? All right. So we'll come into this, and then if you want, you can come forward, lean forward. Just adjust, take a moment to adjust to feel where you can meet yourself, okay? Where it feels nice. You don't have to fold forward, and if you have a bolster, sometimes people like to rest their forehead on it, like that, okay? Remember, after about that 30 seconds, see if you can go a little deeper and then just rest and be there for time. We have about another minute or so. All right, let's start to press ourselves up if you're folded over. Again, you can bring your hands behind you and lift up here a little bit. And then we're going to walk ourselves forward and then come back to tabletop. And we're going to do the other side. But if before that, if you want to take another Adho Mukha, downward facing dog, you can. And just remember that in the practice of Yin, it assumes there's no injury. So if you have injury, make sure it's okay to practice before you do. And then if you are feeling any sensations like tingling or burning or numbness, to get out of that pose. So those aren't good sensations, okay? So we're going to do the other side now. So this time your left leg's going to lift up, land on the outside of your right knee. Bring your feet up, and then let's sit ourselves back to whatever degree feels nice. Using whatever props feel lovely to us. Okay. And again, option Option to make a wider shoelace, option to fold forward, or option just to stay upright too, okay? Again, if you feel those sensations of burning, tingling, numbness, come out of that pose, okay? Have about another minute and a half here. When you're ready, slowly start to press yourself up. Again, we can reach behind us and lift our heart up. And then bring ourselves slowly forward to tabletop. Unwind your knees. Press back to Adho Mukha again, if you want. And then just come back down to tabletop. All right, for our next pose, we're going to go into dragon pose. So from tabletop, bring your right foot in between your hands, okay? Now, if you want, let's tuck your left toes and walk your left knee down a little bit. And if you need some cushioning under your back leg, you can take a blanket or towel to any height and put it under your knee. It's nice, it helps cushion it. Okay, and then your right foot, we're gonna walk out to the edge of your mat. Bring your hands inside, okay? And we're just gonna sink in here into your hips. If you want to go deeper in this, you can always come down either onto a block, your forearms, or if you're able to come all the way to the floor, that's an option too, okay? All right. Have about another minute and a half here. All right, let's start to slowly bring our bum back towards your heels. Start to straighten your right leg. And then we'll come to the other side. So bring your right leg back. We'll go ahead, come back to tabletop. This time, left foot goes between your hands. And then walk it to the edge of your mat. Hands go inside. Tuck your right toe, walk your knee down. Okay. And again, if you need that cushion, it's just kind of nice under your right knee. Go ahead and do that. And then come to whatever extent, any depth you want in this dragon. Okay. And this side might be different. We're not the same on each side, so you might be able to go deeper on one side versus the other, okay? You can untuck that back toe if you had it tucked. About another minute here. All right, if you're ready, start to bring your bum back, straighten your left leg. And then let's bring your left leg back, come back to tabletop. And this time we're going to come to child. So unlike we did before with tadpole, where our toes were together and our knees were out, our legs are going to be making the number 11, okay? And we're just going to sit back. Again, we have the same options here. We can place something under a bum. We can rest our head on a block or our fists or all the way down, whatever feels nice, okay? And arms extend up, above. About another minute and a half here. All right, let's go ahead and press ourselves up. And we're going to come next to our backs. You want to come all the way down to your back. Go ahead and lift your hips up and take them a tiny bit to the right. Bring your knees up and then drop them. Drop your knees to the left. And if you want to land your knees on a rolled up blanket or block, that's nice. And then I like to also land my feet on a block or blanket too. It just feels very supportive. If you're having issue in your low back with this, you can bring your knees up a little closer to you. You can always adjust them down too if that feels better. Just find what feels right to your body, okay? And your legs are stacked here, okay? And then with your right arm, just reach it up and take it to the right, and then follow your right hand with your gaze and let your head go to the right. About another minute here on this side. All right. When you're ready, let's bring your knees back to center, and then bring your hips back to center also. And then we can kind of hug them in and bring your props to the other side. We'll do the same spinal twist on the other side. So let's scoot our hips a little bit to the left, and then knees up, drop them to the right. You can land your knees on a blanket, feet on a bolster or a block. Legs are stacked. And then this time your left hand is going to go up into the left and follow it with your gaze. You can keep your eyes open or soften them closed, your call. About another minute and a half or so. All right, let's bring your knees back up. You can land your feet, adjust your hips to center. And if you want to hug them in, that feels nice before we set up for Shavasana. So you can either put a bolster, blanket underneath your knees. Sometimes that's nice. And Shavasana, just to keep a little bend in your knees. You can press your head in the mat and lower your shoulders down. Ready, you can start to bring some movement to your ankles and your fingers. Bend your knees. And give yourself another hug. And then slowly take it to the side. Press yourself up. All right, thank you so much for practicing Yin with me. Namaste.